Business Brain, episode 601 for Casual Friday, November 22nd, National Go for a Ride Day 2024. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take some ideas, we crunch them, we use them to help tune our business brains so that we can each keep on living those charmed lives. Sponsors for this episode include Incogni.com/brain, where you can use code BRAIN to get 60% off an annual plan and take your personal data back. As well, Shopify.com/businessbrain. That's where you can go to sign up for your $1 per month trial period. We will talk more about each of those in a little bit. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And in Lafayette, California, I am Shannon Jean, and I'm excited to be here. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday, man. Happy 601. Here we go.
601. That's
we're
good.
We're into the 600s, yeah?
Yeah. Hey, I want to talk about, first, about memes and GIFs.
Okay.
That's on my agenda. And right. The way I want to talk, why I want to talk about them is because I think that's kind of an underrated method to connect with your customers using memes and GIFs. And
okay.
What I mean by that is, every company's the same. Every store, every Amazon seller, every whatever, every social media, you're just not the same, but everybody's out there pushing products and you see the same kind of things anymore. So the great thing about memes or GIFs is they get people to stop and look and like, wait, what's that? That's kind of weird. And
it's either new and interesting or familiar. And interesting.
Yeah, it's either familiar or trending. They saw something somewhere else. Now let's define this. So the meme, right, is and
there might not be a difference between GIFs and memes either.
Yeah,
but
you could have a GIF could be a meme, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe.
Oh, that's fair.
Right, it's different.
Every staircase has a stairwell, but not all stairwells have staircases, right? I don't know. So it's like that. Yeah.
So the memes are a way to kind of cut through the noise, and so the meme is some image that it could be trending, something that's happening in the news. And the way that I like to use them, and I would suggest you use them, is to attach something related that's happening in your business or in the news or something like that, and create a meme, or take the meme, the image or photograph or whatever. Like there was a bunch of memes out there on the Tyson, Jake Paul fight, and a lot of them related to how Netflix fell apart and different things, and couldn't keep streams going, all that kind of stuff. Well, when you're creating newsletters for your clients, or you're publishing blog posts, or you're doing advertising, think about ways that you could integrate trending memes or classic memes that everybody's seen before from a TV show, from Parks and Rec or some kind of thing. So that's all well and good. And the same was with GIFs, right? You're integrating them. There's funny things you can, like if you're happy and if you're sending a customer a thank you for buying something, take a GIF from a classic movie with people opening champagne or shaking a bottle or whatever, these things that are out there. But for me, the challenge is I don't know what the current trending memes are.
Yeah, but ChatGPT does.
You can use ChatGPT. I think that's great. But I also use a service now, of course.
A
SaaS related to memes.
Okay.
And I put the link to that service in our Slack so you could share it in the notes. And it's called memelord.tech.
Okay.
And it's amazing because it allows you to find, trending memes and add your own, your own comments to them, create different things related to what's going on. And it's fantastic. And it definitely has helped me, and I've been using it for a while, to try to plug into the Is it Zeitgeist?
That's the one.
Zeitgeist.
Yeah. That's what you want.
I want to plug into that so people go, oh, wait, what is that? But my comment will be related to something in my business, but
Sure.
they're going to see that image and stop. And even on your website, in maybe the hero section of your site, which is the first top of the page that they see when they come, why not have a meme there or a GIF or something that rotates? And instead of just the standard stuff that everybody's used to seeing, right? Connect on another level to where if you're in the HVAC business, there's got to be some HVAC meme or something related to that out there you could find. And you could search on this memelord.tech. You can search for topics, you can search for classics, all this kind of stuff. And I find it very helpful to do it. And I'm sure you can do it with ChatGPT as well. But it connects with people. I guarantee it. And I respond to comments on X all the time using GIFs. X has a great built-in GIF engine that allows you to search for stuff. And I always use it to respond, to say thank you. Instead of just typing out thank you, I use a GIF of somebody, some character we all know from Seinfeld or some different thing. And I put it in the response, and it's great. It stops, it connects you differently.
All right, so I just did this here. Yes. I did it with ChatGPT because I don't have a memelord subscription.
Yes.
I wanted to tell folks that if you are the type of person like me who sometimes looks at what trackers a podcast that I'm listening to is using, I wanted to find a GIF that helped me explain this, or at least get your attention.
There you go.
And explain this so that I can help show you that, yes, we have started using trackers in the show, but if you've been listening for a couple of months since August, you might remember that we at Backbeat Media came up with an engine that helps protect your private, it shields your actual IP address from the trackers, but still gives the analytics companies the data that they need to prove that you downloaded the show or someone downloaded the show, and that someone in your general area downloaded the show so that they can relate that to purchases that happen and all those things.
Yes.
And so I told ChatGPT, I said, find a currently trending meme that I can use to relate to my business, that helps to protect podcast listeners' privacy. Perfect. And it found the Simpsons meme that said, I forget what the guy's name is.
Ned.
Thank you, Ned Flanders.
Ned Flanders.
No, it's Ned Flanders, where it says, me, privacy matters, and then Google shows Ned Flanders and says, yes, it does. Chuckles, right. But we actually do care about your privacy, and we're working to protect that, and are protecting that for you, even though some of our sponsors are using these tracking engines, and it's fine. Yeah.
I just shared a link with you to one I used because I talk about buying from, it's in the private chat here.
Okay. Yep.
I talk about buying quantity of store returns and liquidation stuff from Costco all the time.
Okay.
So there's a meme from a movie called 500 Days of Summer or something like that. It's a meme where I don't know I forget the name of the actors in there, but it's he says
Zoe Deschanel, and I can't remember the other one.
Yeah, the other dude.
Yeah,
he's in the movie. He says, "Oh, I love," and it's a band, and she goes, "Me too." But they always do. So I changed that and I said, "I love Costco," and she says, "Me too." And then down below, she's thinking of the $1.50 hot dog, and I'm thinking of pallets in a warehouse that I'm buying those things. So I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 people looked at that, but it's just to lighten the mood and to connect and do it. So I think it's powerful. I think it really works, and I think you should look at ways to integrate memes and GIFs into your marketing, your website, your branding, anything you can think of. I think it's worth it.
All right, folks, let's talk about the magic behind selling success. Sure. Having a great product is key, right? Whether it's hot sauce from Momofuku or Feastables by Mr. Beast, right? But the secret sauce behind all those sales, it's the business behind the business that makes everything run smoothly. And for millions of entrepreneurs like me, that's Shopify. I've been using Shopify for one of my other businesses, and soon it'll power my podcast merch store for GigGab too. Why? Because nobody does selling better. Shopify is home to the #1 checkout on the planet, with Shop Pay boosting conversions by up to 50%. That means fewer abandoned carts and way more Cha-ching moments. Shopify lets you sell wherever your customers are, on the web, in-store, in their social feeds, or wherever they're scrolling. The secret's out, folks. Businesses that want to grow, grow with Shopify. So, if you're ready to take your sales to the next level, upgrade your business and get the same checkout that I use. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/businessbrain, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/businessbrain to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/businessbrain. And our thanks to Shopify for sponsoring this episode. Have you ever felt like your personal data is out there partying without you, signing up for mailing lists, crashing inboxes, and maybe even stealing your Netflix recommendations? That's where our sponsor Incogni comes in, the ultimate bodyguard for your digital life. Incogni is like a digital bouncer for your personal data. They hunt down those sneaky data brokers who've been stockpiling your sensitive information and tell them, not today, pal. Incogni doesn't just remove your data, they handle the back and forth with data brokers like a top-tier negotiator. Objections? Denied. My favorite part? Less spam. Incogni will turn your inbox from a junkyard of ads into a streamlined communication hub. And the bonus? Your sensitive data, like social security numbers or login credentials, stays yours. It's like having a digital ninja protecting your identity 24/7. Why wait? Take your personal data back with Incogni. Use code BRAIN at incogni.com/brain and get 60% off an annual plan. That's code BRAIN at incogni.com/brain, incogni.com/brain. Use code BRAIN there. You get 60% off an annual plan. Incogni, because your data deserves VIP treatment, and so do you. And our thanks to Incogni for sponsoring this episode. So, we've been talking about your brand with memes and GIFs, and sometimes GIFs that are memes. But
right.
What about, instead of making a GIF your brand, what about making you your brand, or at least your personality?
Yeah, I love that. I always recommend you should be involved in your brand. You should be related to it. Your company name, your photos of you, your team, your comments, your personality is a big asset. And people want to connect with other people more than they want to connect with brands, right? And,
dude, we learned this lesson the hard way at the Mac Observer when we started that business.
Right.
We were like, nope, we don't want to have our personalities involved. We want to be like the New York Times, right? We want to be just a faceless entity that is one voice.
That's a small company. That often comes
because we wanted to seem bigger than we were.
I've been there. And
it made, we made a logical argument for it, even though we were wrong. And it took us a few years to realize, as personalities would seep through anyway, it was like, wait a minute, that more of that. Well, that's going to break our, one of our core values. Well, let's break that core value. And we did.
Yeah.
And of course, now every news organization, New York Times could be one of them, but same with the Wall Street Journal, every one of them has personalities that are part and parcel of who they are. Yes.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be you. If you're the owner,
no.
maybe you're an introvert, but it could be your general manager. It could be your supervisors. It could be
you could make it up too.
It could be anything, and you could make it up. And you can play a character. And I suggest you read the book called The Alter Ego Effect. And I forget the author's name, but you can just look it up and learn about creating.
I'll put a link in the
ego.
show notes. It's right there. Yeah. It's good to go.
That's awesome. Yep. And I'll give you an example with Tech Restore. I wanted to quote answer every phone call. That was my whole thing. But of course that's impossible. Yeah. But I could be the auto attendant that answered every phone call.
Sure.
And and at the same time, I hate auto attendants. Who doesn't Right. So I answered the phone and said, "Hey, this is Shannon Jean. I'm going to be your auto attendant, and I know that's not what you want." So
right. Yeah.
I just played it up. I played it up the whole way. I'm like, I hate these things too, but we got to be super efficient, this, that, and the other thing. And then when they hit like, oh, press 1 for service, it's still me. And I'm just like, hang on, hold on. I made some noise,
yep.
crash, doing it like I'm chasing a technician down. And so
I like that.
Ask, introducing your personality to these things, and maybe even a little humor would be amazing. People love that. And I can't tell you how many people, once they got to an actual human, were just like, dude, that was amazing. I love that. And
it entertains them.
And they're not mad because they had to go through 4 levels of auto attendants to get to your customer service department or whatever.
Yeah.
They've been entertained. And so, get rid of the hold music, get rid of the blank space, just talk. And you could even talk about what's going on with your company. You can talk about what you did with your team.
How often did you update the not hold music for your business?
Probably a few times a year.
Yeah.
Not quarterly, a few times a year. Yeah.
Okay.
And
aim
I would talk
for quarterly. Do it as often as you actually do. Yeah.
I talk about what we were doing. Hey, we're building this new glass factory and yada yada yada, and then people listen, and they're going to be stuck there anyway. And so you can kind of use that. But think about the ways you do it in your advertising. Does one of your people, should they be in the ad working on your project? I'll back up and tell you, you need to have a model release form file before you put
You've
anybody,
mentioned this before.
Before you put anybody in an ad. If you need, I'll give Dave a link. And you can get, I have a model release form that you can
great.
Download, because you want to have the right, you don't want to have them come back later and say, you can't use my face or my hands or my feet, because they got mad at you at some point, because sometimes it happens. But people connect better with people. They like to see your personality. It helps to diffuse tension. And, I think it's great. I mean, you don't want to go overboard and be like Crazy Eddie or whoever,
But if that works for you,
it could.
You go ahead and do it. When I was with Computer Nerds, which was a company I joined and then wound up being a junior partner there for a long time, we were in Austin at the time, and Austin, Texas. And we were doing some like print ads, of course. We were doing some radio ads, but they were just doing like we do here, like host read kind of things,
Sure.
And then we cut a deal with one of the local TV stations, the local ABC affiliate, where we would do some, that we would manage their IT stuff, and they would not only show our TV ads, but produce them for us. Now, the production of this was very, very minimal. It was, a single camera shot for a 10-second ad, because that's what we could afford to trade out. Yeah. I mean, the Austin market, even at that point in time, was, over 1 million people. Like it wasn't super small. It wasn't New York, obviously. But, and so we did this 10-second ad, and it was right about this time of year. And so we don't know what we're going to do. So we just collected the staff, which was maybe 8 of us, and we went down and to the TV station whatever morning. A few of us brought Santa hats because it was that time of year.
Yeah, sure.
And we all stood there, and the founder of the company and I sort of talked through. He was like, I have an idea. He says, and we started the thing by saying hi, and we all waved. And then Lee, the founder, continued on his own. He said, if you need help with your computer, call 441-NERD, and we'll send a nerd right over. And all of us said, and we'll send a nerd right over.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it was fun. What we didn't know until after the ad came out was the guy who did all our dispatch didn't like being called a nerd. So when he said the word nerd, he pointed to the guy next to him. He's like, and we'll send a nerd right over, which also was fun. There were these Easter eggs in there, and it blew up. Everybody in town knew about Computer Nerds. And our business, doubled, and but we became rock stars in town. It was like my first little brush with fame in some way, where it's like people would recognize you in a place. It's like, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same. But when we had bus ads and ads on the rapid transit out here for Tech Restore, it was always trying to be a little humorous. And, we had crack screens and, bloody fingers, get help at whatever and different things. And there's ways to do it to lighten the mood and to it connects you, and people will share things that are funny. It's the same with the memes. Back to that meme topic. You don't have to be the one to make it funny, right? It is already funny. So you can just adapt it to your business needs in some way. Yep. And it's awesome. And you can have fun with it, and your employees will enjoy it too. And I guarantee you somebody on your staff would love to be the person that helps you find this stuff or do things, and it definitely
mention it at a staff meeting that you're going to do it, and if somebody has ideas, bring them up, and just that's the person. There you go.
Figure it out. So I think it's great. I think it's be a little more casual. There's enough.
It's okay to be casual.
Yes. You can still be professional. You can still have an awesome business. Be crazy entrepreneur that never stops and hustling, grinding, and all this stuff we talk about. But bring some of that casual air to the way you interact with your customers, and I think that you'll find that it helps you a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
It's cool.
I agree.
And share with us the way you do it, or if you think we're wrong, feedback at businessbrain.show. And end your day today on a Friday, or start your day at businessbrain.show/review. Leave us a quick review and tell us what you think. We would love it. It would really help out the show.
It absolutely helps the show. Review it. Thanks for hanging out with us for the last 20 minutes or so. Please have a great weekend and keep on living that charmed life. We'll see you next week.